and welcome to Betting School from the Form Guide. This is Course 1, How Odds Actually Work. And it is the foundation everything else in this series stands on. Because almost every mistake a new punter makes begins with misreading a price. Here is the roadmap. First, what a price really is. An opinion about probability, not a reward voucher. Then fractional odds decoded. 6 to 4, 11 to 2, even money and exactly what each one pays. A short detour into decimal odds and why the professionals quietly prefer them. Then the single most important conversion in betting, turning any price into a percentage chance before we read an entire 5-runner market, learn what short and long prices are really saying, and finish with an honest chapter about the margin hiding inside every book. Everything here is education and opinion, never an instruction to bet. Kettle on! Let's begin. Let's start by fixing the biggest beginner mistake of all. Reading a price as a prize 6 to 4 is not the bookmaker feeling generous, and 12 to 1 is not a jackpot waiting for the brave. A price is a claim about how likely something is. When the market offers 6 to 4 about a horse, it is saying in code, we think this horse wins roughly 4 races in every 10, like this one. The payout is simply the other side of that claim. The rarer the market thinks the win is, the more it pays you for shouldering the risk. Learn to hear the opinion inside the number, and every odds board turns from wallpaper into a conversation. Time to decode the strange little fractions Britain has bet with for 2 centuries. 6 to 4, 11 to 2. Even money, they all follow one simple rule, and once you can say that rule out loud, no odds board will ever look like hieroglyphics again. Here is the rule. The second number is what you stake. The first is your profit if it wins. 6 to 4 means stake 4, win 6. So a £4 stake returns £6 of profit plus your 4 back, 10 in total. 11 to 2 means stake 2 to win 11. Even money is the tidy middle. Stake 1, win 1. The market calling it a coin toss, near enough. Notice we say profit, not return. At 6 to 4, your stake comes back on top of the winnings. And the fraction scales as 6 to 4 pays £1.50 for every single pound attempt, because 6 divided by 4 is 1.5. That genuinely is the whole grammar. Let's put 5 common prices on one screen as profit for every pound staked. Even money at the top pays exactly £1. 6 to 4 pays as £1.50. 6 divided by 4. 3 to 1 pays £3. 11 to 2 pays £5.50 because 11 divided by 2 is 5.5. And 12 to 1, the longest bar on the screen, pays £12 for that single pound staked. Watch the shape though, because the shape is the real lesson. The bars grow longer as the market's belief grows weaker. Nobody pays 12 to 1 about things they expect to happen. The payout ladder is a confidence ladder, drawn upside down. One short detour before the main event. Fractions are tradition, but walk into any professional setting, the exchanges, the trading rooms, our own model before the morning line, and you will hear decimals instead. Here is why in one chapter and one chapter only. A decimal price is simply your total return for a 1 unit stake. Stake included. So 6 to 4 becomes 2.5, your pound back plus £1.50 of profit. Even money becomes 2.0 and 11 to 2 becomes 6.5. This is the only time in the series we will speak a price as a decimal. So savour it. Why do professionals prefer them? Because decimals compare instantly. 2.5 is obviously bigger than 2.2, and they multiply cleanly when bets are combined, with no fraction arithmetic in sight. The betting exchanges use nothing else. We will keep saying 6 to 4 out loud, the way the race course does, but from today, you know exactly what the decimal column means. Now, for the most important 5 minutes in the whole course, the conversion professionals run in their heads before anything else. Every price can be turned into a percentage chance, and once you can do it, you stop asking what a bet pays and start asking what the market believes. Here is the formula in plain words. Take the stake part of the fraction and divide it by the stake part plus the profit part. That is it. Stake divided by both numbers added together. 6 to 4, 4 divided by 6 plus 4 is 4 over 10, 40%. 3 to 1, 1 divided by 4 and 25%. Even money, 1 divided by 2, 50%, the coin toss we promised. The result is called the implied probability. The chance the price implies the market believes in. Run it on every price you meet this week. Shop windows, adverts, the lot. It becomes automatic within days, and it is the exact calculation our model runs before every morning line. Let's run the conversion down a ladder of 5 prices and watch the percentages fall. Even money, 1 divided by 2, 50%. 6 to 4, 4 divided by 10, 40%. 3 to 1, 1 divided by 4, 25%. 9 to 2, 2 divided by 11, which comes out at 18.2%. And 12 to 1, 1 divided by 13, 7.7%, roughly 1 chance in 13. Say them as chances and the prices suddenly sound honest. 12 to 1 is not a bargain. It is the market telling you this happens about once in every 13 runnings. Keep 9 to 2 and 12 to 1 in mind, but you are about to meet them again. Time to read a whole market at once. Meet our 5-runner race. Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta and Echo, the same 5 horses we will follow for the rest of this course. 5 prices, 5 opinions, 1 story. Let's turn the whole book into percentages. Here is the full book converted. Alpha, the favourite, at 6 to 4, carries a 40% chance in the market's eyes. Beta at 3 to 1 is 25%. Gamma at 9 to 2, the price we just practiced, is 18.2%. Delta at 8 to 1 works out at 11.1%, 1 divided by 9. And Echo, the outsider, at 12 to 1, sits at 7.7%. Read down the bars. And the race stops being 5 prices and becomes a picture. A clear favourite, a genuine second string, and 3 others the market rates as long shots of varying courage. One glance at that picture and you already know how the market expects this race to run. Once a market is in percentages, its shape talks to you. A book where the favourite sits at 40% meant and the rest trail away like ours is the market saying, we fancy Alpha, but this is no formality. Compare that with a race where the favourite converts to 70%. A market shrugging that the contest is nearly settled before the stalls open. Or a wide open handicap where nothing converts above 20. Same sport, completely different conversations. Professionals glance at the shape before they ever look at a horse's name because the shape tells them where the market's confidence lives and where it is only guessing. Short and long are the trade's words for the 2 ends of the ladder. A short price, 6 to 4, even money, is a strong opinion, high chance, small payout. A long price, 12 to 1 and beyond, is a weak one, small chance, big payout. Neither is better. A short price is not a certainty and a long price is not a bargain. Each is just a different claim about probability paid accordingly. And here is the sentence, worth writing down. Even the favourite usually loses. Alpha's 40% means the market expects it to lose this race 6 times out of 10. Anyone who bets on anything needs that sentence close to hand. Variance is not an insult, it is the product. Let's stare at the uncomfortable bars for a moment, using the market's own numbers. Alpha, our 6 to 4 favourite, wins 40% of the time, which means the red bar beside it, 60%, is Alpha losing. The most fancied horse in the race loses 6 times in 10. Echo is starker still, 7.7% to win, 92.3% to lose. Better than 9 races in 10 going the wrong way. This is not pessimism, it is arithmetic, the price itself admits. If a run of losers would hurt your pocket or your mood, the market has already told you in advance that runs of losers are the normal state of affairs. Now, the honest chapter, the one every betting school course carries, because our brand is the numbers, not the dream. There is something hiding in that 5-runner book we just built, and it has been there all along. Add the 5 percentages up. Go on, we will wait. Here is our race again. 40, 25, 18.2, 11.1 and 7.7. With one new bar underneath, the whole book added together. 40 plus 25 is 65. Add 18.2 for 83.2. Add 11.1 for 94.3. And echoes 7.7 takes the book to 102%. But a race only contains 100% of chance. There will be exactly one winner, no more and no less. The market has sold 102% of a 100% event. The extra 2% is no accident and no rounding error. It is the bookmaker's margin, and it has a name. So let's say the honest thing plainly. Odds are opinions, usually sharp, occasionally wrong, with a margin folded inside them. The percentages you calculate from prices are always slightly inflated because the bookmaker prices every runner a touch shorter than their true opinion. That is how the shop stays open. It also means implied probability is the market's claim, not gospel truth. A short price is not a promise, and the sum of any real book will always beat 100. How big that margin runs, how it varies from market to market, and why it means the bookie starts every race ahead. That is course 2, the overround, and it is quite the eye-opener. Let's carve the takeaways into stone. A price is an opinion about probability wearing a payout as a disguise. Fractions read profit first, stake second. 6 to 4 means stake 4 to win 6, and the stake comes home on a top. Decimals say the same thing as total return, 2.5 for 6 to 4, which is why the professionals use them. The conversion that matters most, stake part divided by stake plus profit, or that turns any price into a chance. 6 to 4 is 40%, 12 to 1 is 7.7. Convert a whole book and the market becomes a picture with a shape. Even the favourite usually loses, and every real book adds up past 100% because the margin lives inside the prices. Say all of that out loud and you already read odds better than most people who bet every week. And that is course 1 complete. You can now read any fractional price, translate it into a decimal, convert it into a percentage chance, and turn an entire market into a picture, which quietly puts you ahead of most of the high street already. Next time, the overround, why the bookie starts ahead, where we chase down that mysterious extra 2% and work out exactly what the margin costs. Subscribe so it lands in your feed. And the daily shows at 7, midday, 4 and 10 will keep you sharp in between. Now the serious bit, said with love. Everything in betting school is education and opinion only. Never financial advice and never an instruction to bet. Betting is for adults aged 18 and over, and only ever with money and time you can comfortably afford. If it stops being fun or starts to feel like a need, talk to someone. That is begambleaware.org. Thank you for studying with me. See you in course 2.